Before we jump into this week's episode, I want to take a moment to give a huge thank you to this year's sponsors of TechMission: Repair Pal, Full Bay, Diesel Laptops, Wheeltime, Repair Shop Websites, Bus Patrol, Repair Smith, Sonic Tools, Lithia, Caliber, Collabtic, Truck Country, and Stoops. This event wouldn't be the same without your support, so thank you again. Also, I want to mention at this year's TechMission event, we're giving away some pretty sweet prizes, like a Sonic 255-piece basic tool set, a 6-month subscription of our WrenchWay Top Shops program, including job postings, a solo stove smokeless fire pit, plus WrenchWay swag like t-shirts and toolbox stickers. There's no cost to enter to win. Just go to wrenchway.com/events to find out how to enter. And I look forward to seeing everyone virtually at TechMission 2021.
Beyond the Wrench with Jay Goninen from Find a Wrench.
Welcome to Beyond the Wrench. My name is Jay Goninen, coming to you live from Las Vegas as I get ready to attend Apex and SEMA down here, but wanted to get a podcast out this week to talk about TechMission, and we're going to be welcoming Sara Kerwin in just a second to talk about that. So want to start off with our higher or lower winner of the week, and that was Matt Weebly with a high score of 29. He unfortunately did not turn over the Queen of Hearts, and so the Queen of Hearts pot now goes up to $1,300. As for our episode this week, normally we would kind of dive into some type of promo about TechMission, and we thought who better to bring on to the show other than Sara Kerwin, who is our Director of Marketing here at WrenchWay, and the one that really is leading the way with everything TechMission and really, really exciting stuff. So how are you, Sara?
I'm doing well. How are you, Jay?
I'm good. This is Sara's first podcast, and she was nervous initially, but I think she's going to kill it. I think she's going to do really well.
Yeah, it only took you about a year and a half to convince me to come on for one, I think.
And what better reason to do it than TechMission? So for those of you that aren't familiar with TechMission, it's really, we spend a couple days just talking about how we make the industry better. And we bring kind of all different pieces of the industry together, both the independent side, the dealer side, managers, technicians, owners, whoever it might be. But I want to start off with asking you about how this all came about. Why was it that we kind of dove into this and wanted to have an event like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have done monthly webinars or occasional webinars for quite a while now, and they always did very well. People seem to really enjoy talking about the topics and such. But what we wanted to do, and I think it was you, Jay, we sat down and you're like, I think we should do a bigger event. I think we should bring a bunch of people together for a number of roundtables in a day, 2 days, and, just really draw up some excitement and get everyone together on the same page, technicians, shop owners, schools, and just get everyone kind of talking about these topics that need to be talked about more, like the technician shortage, like flat rate, like work environment and everything. So like any other great idea we've had, you came, we're like, should we do this? I'm like, sure. Do you want to do this? I don't know, we'll figure it out. And I think we were both pleasantly surprised with how the first TechMission turned out. I think we had just over 500 registrants. Everyone got super excited about it, and it really built up a lot of momentum that I think we've been able to kind of keep going throughout the whole year. And I'm really excited for this second event that we're doing.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Sara, there would be no podcast. She kind of took that and ran when we first had the idea. So if you enjoy listening to the podcast, you can thank her. She's kind of the brain power behind making all of this work. But as far as TechMission goes, what did you, when we put together the first year, was there anything that really stuck out to you in terms of what came out of those 2 days. I mean, I know I had some surprises. I'm interested to hear if you thought anything really stuck out to you over the course of the 2 days.
Yeah, I think it was interesting. So last year we had the roundtable set up a little bit differently. So we had like a technician roundtable, a manager roundtable, we had school roundtable, and it was interesting bringing all these different groups together because while there were different perspectives, the same like recurring themes kept coming up, and that's that, you know, more time needed to be devoted to technician career development and training, and like it was just the same themes that just kept coming up over and over throughout the event. So I don't know if I necessarily expected that. I thought that, you know, the schools would be kind of focused on one thing, whereas the shops would be more focused on another, but really everyone was kind of on the same page and knew what needed to be done. It was just kind of coming up with that action plan on how to do it. I'm curious to hear what you have to say and what kind of stood out to you.
Yeah, I think in anything we do where we bring really smart people together, it's so fascinating to hear what others think or what other perspectives are. You know, we hear it in the podcast all the time where somebody brings a different viewpoint or maybe changes my mindset on something, and that was like that on steroids, right? That we had all kinds of different viewpoints, things that really stuck out to me. And you know, I think for me going into that, it was so important to have we called it the voice of technician, but really getting the technician in the same room as everybody else. There was a lot of times where maybe I would go to events or seminars or whatever it might be, and you'd have a bunch of people talking about technicians, but no technicians actually in the room.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
being able to bring together really talented technicians to talk about the industry and then kind of reflect on that, I thought was a really cool piece. And I think when they talk and we're able to sit back and really evaluate what they're saying, I think there's so much impact in that. And I think it's going to be similar this year in that regard. But, you know, last year's focus was primarily getting technicians into our field, getting more people into the field. Tell us a little bit about the purpose for this year.
Yeah, so this year we're really focused on how to keep technicians in the industry. So we always refer to the one stat from ASE Education Foundation where, you know, 41%, I believe, of technicians that enter the industry leave within the first 2 years. So what we wanted to do was focus on the things that we can do as an industry to keep technicians working there once they are there. So we kind of came up with a couple different focus areas on where we thought improvements could be made so that technicians stay, like career development and training, compensation, employee recognition, employee engagement, training. And we are diving deep into each of those topics and brought in subject matter experts for there to talk about those and really kind of talk about actionable things that shops can do and implement to really keep their technicians happy and staying in the industry. Yeah,
and tell us a little bit about these breakout sessions or the different roundtables. Do you have? Can you inform our audience as far as what different topics we're going to be talking about for this year's TechMission?
Yeah, definitely. So the opening session, which is kind of the session to kick off the event, is why technicians are leaving the industry. And this is one that we actually pre-recorded because we had just with schedules and having technicians on, sometimes we have to record them at later hours after working hours. So this one's actually already recorded. And I don't know about you, Jay, but I got so excited for TechMission after we recorded that episode. It was so good. I mean, just the insights that people have, it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of talent in this industry, and I think that's going to be a great way to kick it off. We're also talking about how schools can better prepare students for industry and kind of comparing the expectations that shops have versus the expectations that schools are setting to students and how we can kind of align those better. We're diving deep into employee recognition. We're bringing in, Anna, give me the last name.
Anna Strauss, yes.
Anna Strauss. So she's actually not even in our industry, but she has a lot of knowledge around employee recognition and how technicians should be recognized and such. So she brings a wealth of knowledge in here. We're going to be talking about flat rate. I'm sure that's going to be a hot topic and one that I'm personally really looking forward to as well. Trying to think of what else we got. I know we're talking about onboarding and training and engagement. But yeah, just kind of covering a breadth of topics that I think will be really good for everyone in the industry.
I do too. Yeah, and the 2 days have just solely focused on this thing and what we can do to make the industry better for technicians. And to echo what you said about the first couple roundtables that we've recorded, I think they're the best ones we've ever done. And I don't say that to pat ourselves on the back, because it in a lot of ways had nothing to do with us. It was the people on it. But hearing them talk so passionately about it, and there's a couple times where people were getting choked up, and you could tell there's just so much emotion behind it, and really I think there's some level of they're just thankful to be heard, for the first time maybe in a long time. And I don't know, I feel like that raw emotion really came out in the first 2 that we did, and I didn't think it came across as them complaining, or it was really ideas on ways that we could make the industry better. And I was the same as you. I'm just frankly blown away by how smart those people were and the insight that they brought.
Absolutely. I mean, one of my favorite things about TechMission is kind of like you said, like we take a very hands-off approach on our end. Like we come up with some talking points and maybe some questions if the conversation isn't flowing as smoothly, but we really just kind of put it out there and let these people talk, and it's really authentic. And there's times, like you said, where somebody will get choked up, and there's kind of a pause in the conversation, but it's that authenticity and that emotion that I think people need to see in order for changes to happen in this industry.
And you mentioned something with Anna Strauss, and one of the cool parts that I think we've done this year is continuing to have kind of a mixed bag in each session. So it's not just one-sided to one side of the industry, but really bringing in thought leaders from every avenue, from technicians, from managers to just industry leaders in general. And I think that might be the thing that I get most excited about, is the level of talent in the panels that we've got coming in.
What are you excited to see this year?
Boy, there's
a lot of good ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's our old friend Ray Clark from Truck Country. I always love having him on. Anna Strauss, I'm really excited. We did a podcast with her, and again, it brings some level of insight that's from outside the industry to really come in and talk about things and maybe not be so industry specific. I also think there's some really unique opportunities for people that are coming in to, I don't know, just bring a different perspective altogether. And maybe some places, one of the panels that we have features a technician from RepairSmith. And I mean, just an outside the box type of model in our industry that, again, can bring some insight, bring some different thoughts on how you can change your business and how you can maybe improve your business to really take it to the next level. And really, ultimately you want to become a destination shop. And I think everybody that's going to be on these panels really can kind of guide you in that direction. So I think it's really hard for me to kind of narrow down which panelist I'm most excited about. I think we've just got rock stars all over the board.
We do. And I think we did a really great job this year of, we wanted to try to get some people in that we didn't have last year, and not because the panelists that we had last year weren't great. They were phenomenal. We wanted to bring them back, but we wanted to just keep hearing from different people and hearing those different viewpoints. And I think the more we can do that, the better everyone is going to benefit from.
So where do people go to sign up for this? Where
Yes.
Do they have to sign up for it? How do they get out to watch this?
Sure. So TechMission is November 10th and 11th. That's next week, Wednesday and Thursday. I think we get kicked off at 9 on Thursday and 9:30, 9 on Wednesday, 9:30 on Thursday. So they can register at the WrenchWay website. So just wrenchway.com/events. It's completely free. You just need to register. Even if you can't attend live or you only want to attend one session here and there, it's totally fine. We'll send out the recordings to anyone who registers. So yeah, there's still time.
And I think we've already got over 1,000 registrants from what I've heard.
We do. We've already doubled our registration from last year. So that 1,000 was our goal. 1,000 we got.
And we're not even there yet. So that's
I know,
amazing.
there's still
Normally we get the
time.
last blast. Yeah, we get the
Yes.
last group of people that want to register and be a part of it. So
Exactly.
another thing that we didn't mention that I am a big fan of Sarah's on is the playlist, the music, the intro music. Do we have some good music for this year?
It is fantastic. I had had some extra help on our team this year with the playlist, so we kind of did a divide and conquer, picked a couple of different genres, and I think it's pretty solid.
I love it. I never question it. I actually don't normally get to hear the playlist until the day of, and so I always message Sarah at the beginning of some, whether it's a webinar or TechMission, and say, I'm all fired up. I get all fired up every time I hear the music, and I can't wait for this year's music. It sounds like such a small thing, but I love it.
I know. It kind of makes the event for me, just the small things like that.
All right. So this is your first podcast. When is the next one coming? Because I feel like this is your gateway into just podcast stardom now.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know about stardom, but it was a good way to ease into it. I would definitely do another one, but I believe when you first talked about bringing me on the podcast, there was a promise to White Claw. So I think next time there definitely needs to be White Claw.
All right.
And yeah, I can do as soon as tomorrow if White Claw's in there.
Well, that sounds like a deal. I think we didn't go into Sarah's background much on this episode. We'll do that on the next episode that we do with her. But I think she's incredibly talented from a marketing perspective. And the next one that we get you on for, we'll talk marketing and maybe how it applies to a shop or do something along those lines, because I think you could have a lot of good advice for any shop or really any business. But I think it would be great to get you on to kind of talk about that.
Well, thank you for the kind words. I would love to do that. I nerd out over marketing, so bring me on anytime and I'll talk about it.
That sounds great. All right. Well, thank you, Sara Kerwin. When are the dates again?
November 10th and 11th.
November 10th and 11th, and pre-register even if you can't make all of the event or any of the event. The videos will go out onto YouTube after the fact, or we'll email them out. And just really excited about it. Really excited about everything you've done in preparation for this. And it's going to be a really, really nice couple of days. I think a lot of take homes out of this year, and I think that's a really good thing.
Yes, I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Jay.